Imagine waking up one morning and finding out that the price of fuel has doubled overnight. Flights are cancelled, food prices rise, stock markets panic, governments issue emergency statements, all because of one thing: oil. Oil doesn't just power cars, it powers economics, wars, alliances, and empires. But here's the real question: who actually controls the world's oil? Is it powerful countries, secretive corporations, OPEC, or invisible forces we never see? To understand who controls oil, we first need to understand why oil equals power. Modern civilization runs on oil. Your phone, your food, your clothes, your electricity, and your transportation, all of it depends directly or indirectly on oil. Oil is not just fuel, it's leverage. In the 20th century, oil decided who won wars, who became rich, and who stayed poor. During World War II, access to oil determined military victory. Nazi Germany collapsed partly because it couldn't secure enough fuel. Japan attacked Pearl Harbor largely because the US cut off its oil supply. After the war, oil didn't lose importance, it multiplied. Every major global power strategy since then has re-evolved around energy. So when we ask who controls oil, we're really asking who controls the modern world. Let's start with the most obvious answer: the countries that have oil underground. A tiny number of nations control the majority of proven oil reserves. At the top of the list are Venezuela, Saudi Arabia, Iran, Iraq, Russia, United Arab Emirates. Together, these countries hold well over half of the world's known oil. That gives them an enormous advantage. Oil-rich states fund massive governments, build powerful militaries, and influence global politics. Saudi Arabia is the perfect example of this. For decades, Saudi oil wealth has allowed the kingdom to control regional politics, maintain strong ties with the West, stabilize or destabilize oil markets. But here's the catch: owning oil does not automatically mean controlling oil prices. A country can sit on oceans of oil and still struggle economically. Just look at Venezuela. It has the largest proven oil reserves in the world. Yet its economy collapsed. Why? Because control isn't just about possession, it's about coordination. And that leads us to the next layer of power. If there is one name that always comes up in oil discussions, it's OPEC. OPEC stands for the Organization of the Petroleum Exporting Countries. Founded in 1960, OPEC was created for one simple reason: to give oil-producing countries power over the market. Before OPEC, Western oil companies controlled prices. Producing countries had little to say. OPEC changed that. By coordinating production levels, OPEC members could reduce supply, increase prices, protect the national interests. Saudi Arabia quickly became OPEC's leader. In oil markets, flexibility equals power. When prices crash, Saudi Arabia can cut production. When prices rise too much, it can pump more oil. This makes Saudi Arabia the closest thing to a global oil central bank. In recent years, OPEC formed a larger alliance known as OPEC+. This group includes non-OPEC producers, most importantly, Russia. With Russia on board, OPEC+ controls nearly half of the global oil production. That's massive. When OPEC+ meets, markets listen. One announcement from this group can move oil prices instantly, shake global stock markets, trigger inflation worldwide. But here's something crucial: OPEC+ doesn't officially set oil prices. Oil prices are technically set by global markets. What OPEC+ does is control supply. And when you control supply, you influence price. Still, even OPEC+ isn't all powerful, because there's another player that completely changed the game. For decades, the US was the world's largest oil consumer, but not the largest producer. That changed in the 2010s. Thanks to hydraulic fracturing or fracking, the US unlocked vast shale oil reserves. Almost overnight, America became the world's largest oil producer. This shattered OPEC's old dominance. Here's why. Traditional oil production takes years to adjust, but shale oil production is fast. If prices rise, US producers drill more. If prices fall, they shut down quickly. This makes the US a swing producer, not because the government controls oil, but because the market does. Unlike Saudi Arabia, the US government doesn't command oil companies. American oil is produced by private corporations. They respond to profit, not politics. This limits America's direct control, but massively increases its influence. Renewables are rising, electric vehicles are growing, governments are talking about net zero, but oil isn't disappearing anytime soon. What is changing is who controls the future. Power is slowly shifting from producers to consumers, from centralized control to diversified energy. Oil will still remain powerful, but it may no longer be the king forever. So, who really controls oil? Not one country, not one cartel, not one corporation. Oil is controlled by a balance of power, by oil rich nations, by OPEC and OPEC Plus, the global markets, major producers, and growing consumer demand. The control is temporary and the influence shifts. Oil doesn't belong to anyone forever, and that's what makes it the most powerful and unstable resource on earth.